Triumph, you have a competitor. Honda, I think you should take inspiration from Aprilia. Even Benelli should be able to take more inspiration from Aprilia, that they are able to manufacture it locally. These guys have got a good competition. One of the most impressive things that Aprilia has been able to do compared to other manufacturers is that Aprilia is kind of a fairly new company. If you look back, it has been like around 10 years or around 12 years or so since they have been selling products in India, like the SR150 and those bikes, the mopeds. It's a great thing that they have decided to invest so much of time and effort into locally producing a bike like this one and offering it for Indian market, especially in the parallel twin motor directly, not even a single cylinder. And that should be a kind of a lesson for other manufacturers as well, that a fairly new manufacturer like Aprilia has been able to come up with this kind of a motorcycle, producing it locally and then exporting it to other countries. I hope that the other manufacturers also follow suit, taking the inspiration from Aprilia itself. What's up YouTube, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I have this beautiful motorcycle with me. This is the Aprilia's RS457, and you might have seen this motorcycle a lot of times by now. It has been doing around since the last 3 to 4 months, and today I'm getting to ride this bike for a while, and I'll be giving you the test ride impressions. If you are looking to purchase a motorcycle or you want to get in touch with the showroom, then I have provided the contact details down in the description below. It feels like it has been a really long time since the last time I mentioned about a bike being a really good value for money proposition, and thanks to Aprilia for pricing this bike very competitively at 4.1 lakhs ex showroom, and in Hyderabad the on-road price of the bike stands at around 4.95 lakhs, which again feels like a really good deal considering that the recent launches from Yamaha, Ninja 500, Yamaha's R3, NX 500, those bikes have been very overly priced, or feels like quite an expensive motorcycles. I've been riding it for a while. It kind of feels like a very promising engine. Now a lot of people have the impression that Italian bikes are not that reliable, but that was a long time ago. I don't think it is applicable anymore. A lot of companies have been doing a lot of research and development into making their engines better. So yes, they may not be as reliable as Japanese, but even KTMs in the past have been running very well, like the first gen KTM that was launched back in 2012 in that time. So this parallel twin motor, it feels really nice. It sounds good, it pulls really well, and it has a lot of torque. Very tractable motor as well. Even at low speeds and higher gears, you can be able to easily manage at low speeds. That's something really nice. I really like the way that the engine feels, and it feels really sporty. It is understandable that Aprilia has been doing that since a long time, so it kind of has that character still in this parallel twin motor. I'll just stop here to show you the profile of the motorcycle and tell so that you can see how it looks like. Design looks very proportionate and does not feel like something is out of place. When I sat on it, I had the feeling of sitting on a proper sports bike, even though the seating is not as aggressive as these sports bikes. I do wish that in future they bring a full black version of the bike, as silver color on the engine is not something that I usually prefer. One of the things that I was informed by the showroom folks is that The prices are expected to see a hike in the near future by more than 60,000 rupees. The reason they stated was that the quick shifter, which is now available as an accessory for 30,000 rupees, will be coming in as standard in future batches of the motorcycle. Also, they expect to see a whole revision in the pricing, so eventually the overall price of the bike is expected to increase. We've seen price hike for Himalayan as well previously, so it may happen for this one too, but fingers crossed. The tank is of 13 liters, but it felt a little big in a good way. That's what made me feel like I was riding a higher cc bike than just a 450cc motorcycle that it is. About the instrument console, it's a 5-inch TFT display which is bright enough and comes with a good number of things to play around. It gets 3 riding modes, adjustable traction control, Bluetooth connectivity via Aprilia's app, and couple of more other information regarding the bike like the lap timers, fuel economy and stuff. So this is how the bike looks. It looks really nice. I really like the white color, but there are also two other color options that you can choose from. Even before the motorcycles review video or ride impressions video gets posted on my channel, I'll be posting the riding sound video of the bike. So if you want to check that out, go to my channel and you can be able to see it. The engine, this is the most impressive aspect of this motorcycle. It's a 450cc liquid cooled parallel twin motor producing around 47 bhp and around 43 Newton meters of torque. Amazing engine, feels really characterful and has a promising future is what I feel. There's a lot of power. It produces just a little more than the GT650 or the 650 twins from Royal Enfield, and I must say that because of the power to weight ratio, by the way, this bike just weighs at 159 kgs dry and 175 kgs wet, so that's a crazy or very good power to weight ratio for the bike with all the fully fed aspect and also the 450cc parallel twin motor. That's where this bike has an advantage over the twins. It's a really lightweight motorcycle, and by the way, the seat height of the bike is, so it has around 800 mm of seat height. So for a short rider like me who is 5'6", I am able to comfortably flat foot both my feet on the ground. And even if you are a shorter rider who is at 5 feet 3 inches or somewhere around that, you can still be able to manage it very well because of the light weight of the bike. And for the taller riders, I feel that this is going to be pretty comfortable because there's a lot of room to move around on the rider's seat, and the fairing as well is quite big, so you have good enough legroom is what I feel. For the pillion, as this motorcycle is not oriented towards comfort, this might not be that comfortable for the pillion, but they can get around pretty well if I'm not wrong. Seating posture, right? When it comes to seating posture, it has a little towards the aggressive side. Not too aggressive, not too comfortable, but it's more than the Ninja 500, a little oriented towards the sports style of riding, but you would not be that uncomfortable. And I've been riding it for around 40 to 45 minutes or so, and I feel pretty comfortable. I do not have any issues riding it. If you have been accustomed to comfort riding posture, then it might take a little time for you to get used to this bike. So riding ergonomics, so that is something that you need to consider. Talking about the handlebar itself, I like the way that this layout is for the handlebar. Kind of gives me that brushed steel type of a look, and instrument console also looks bright enough for a sunny day like today. You also get a lot of electronics for this bike, like the ride-by-wire traction control, adjustable traction control, 3 riding modes, and a lot of information on the screen. The mirrors actually feel really nice. They are a little far from the rider, kind of takes you a little bit of adjustment to get used to it, or you might want to first adjust it and then start riding the bike, just so that you are comfortable when you are riding it. But the visibility is quite good for a sporty motorcycle like this one. I am pretty happy with the mirrors. much better than the CV300 RS mirror that I previously rode. So in that sense, this is a really nice one. The 6th gear right now, and I'm still at 50 kilometers per hour or lower than that, and I'm still able to comfortably cruise without any tugging in the engine. So really nice and tractable engine. There is a lot of punch in the mid-range. When you pull the motorcycle, it feels like there is a lot of punch in the mid-range, and also when you give the throttle, it really sounds well under the helmet. It has that bassy exhaust to it. Very sporty and bassy exhaust is what I feel. Talking about the suspension setup, you can be able to adjust the preload for both front and back. Here is the preload adjusters, and this gets 41 mm upside down forks. You have 120 mm travel for the front and 130 for the back. At least you have the preload adjustability for both, so I think that's pretty okay. The thing that I thought Aprilia could have also added was another disc, rather than just going with the mono disc setup on this one. Not that the braking is bad, the front brake feels really well. For the city riding conditions, I felt that the front brake is quite good. Rear one could have been a little better, but you usually have that kind of a feedback for a 220 mm disc setup in the rear. Most of the bikes with that kind of a disc setup usually provide not that great bite for the rear brake, but the front one is really nice. As this bike is more of a sports tourer, or a little more inclined towards being sporty, it has that stiff type of a suspension setup. Not too stiff, just a little stiffer than other softer suspension setups that you usually see on the like the Speed 400 or those kind of suspension setups. But it is expected, because this is like oriented towards a little bit of track as well, so you might get that kind of a suspension setup, which is pretty understandable. You can be able to adjust the suspension setup because the preload adjustment is available for the front and the rear one as well. Let's see how it pulls up. Engine is absolutely amazing. The way that it pulls is super good, and you will actually love the way that it rides. When it comes to tires, these are from Eurogrip, TVS Eurogrip. They have been rated to be really nice on the track as well. I kind of feel that sometimes it might have slipped here and there, or maybe the power is a little high, so it's pretty understandable. But when you are moving around, when you are trying to corner, or when you are trying to shift the motorcycle's weight from this side to that side, then it kind of feels pretty grippy, is what I think. It's a 150 section tire in the rear, and I think it's a 110 or 130 in the front. I'll provide it in the screen itself. I don't remember the front section, but the tires are actually good. I'm glad that they did not go lower than 150cc, 150 section tire, so it's pretty okay. And also glad that they did not go for MRF or FZs or something like that for the cost cutting, and they provided a good tire setup for this one, and which is a good thing. For coming to the accessories, you can buy quick shifter as an accessory for around 30,000 rupees if I'm not wrong, which is pretty okay, I think, because you get a lot of electronic components for this kind of a price. Now if you compare it with the 650 twins, you do not have any like electronics on that one. You get around 3 years or 36,000 kilometers of warranty, and for the first year you have 3 free services. I think it's still 12,000 kilometers or so, which is kind of a good deal for a new entrant like this one. If you compare it with any other competitors right now that are on the offer, like Ninja 500, R3, or even if you compare it with the 650 twins, although that's not the right comparison because those are from a different segment, but I think this has a lot of value currently on the offer. I think it's been a really long time since we had a bike with very less or very minimal type of cons on a bike. This kind of feels like a bike with a lot of positive aspects than any of the major cons, because there aren't many cons, I would say. It's just the way that the bike is. So if you are someone who is planning to buy a bike in the range of 4 to 5 lakhs, definitely take a test ride of this motorcycle, because it is quite promising and it is quite interesting bike. And if you are someone who already owns a super bike and you want a bike that is like your secondary bike, this has that potential to be the second bike for you. It's got that really nice power to weight ratio. Even the handling is quite good. So if you are someone who wants to go on a track sometimes with this motorcycle, you can still have a lot of fun there. And the power is not anything less. It feels really powerful as well. I think the horn could have been improved, because this is a fairly nice and big bike, so horn kind of feels a little weak. This, in the current market and in this segment, I think this is one of the best 400cc motorcycles, 400 to 500cc motorcycles that money can buy right now. Let me know what you guys think about the motorcycle, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Do hit the like button if you have liked the video, and if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing as well. I'll see you guys in the next one.